Welcome, welcome.
Hey.
Back with another pod for the boys. Playoffs coming. Thought we'd bring you guys a little primer, a little season update. Haven't heard from the pod since the season started. It's been another good year for the league name TBD. Ryan, how we feeling?
I'm great, man. Quiet year for the pod, loud year out of Tom, and a pretty
As they come.
run-of-the-mill regular season. We got technically six teams in the running, and I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Last week of the regular season here, we got a three-team hunt for the last spot. One, two, three are looking locked up. The seeding, we were just talking about it, still a little up in the air, but Luke, Zach, and myself locked in as the top three seeds in all likelihood. And then Tom, Nico, and Brennan gunning for that fourth seed. Uh, Tom and Nico are 9-5. Brennan's 8-5, a game behind them. We'll dig into it here in a sec. But first, I think we wanted to take a look at, dig into the four teams that are out of it.
Yes,
And
we did.
it is a stark drop from Brennan at 8-6. Within 4 games from first place. It's then a 4 game drop from Brennan to Rob at 4-10. Uh, so maybe the biggest tier break in the entire league sits right here with the contenders and the teams that don't have much to root for this Sunday.
Yeah, balanced as all things should be. If you don't mind, I already have Jesse up, so we'll start at the bottom, even though I guess I'm the bottom in record, but starting at the 101. Owner of the 101 officially because I'm not catching him this week. Um, we just wanted everyone to get a chance to hear their names, but we'll look into your outlooks, I think was the idea of this portion. So I'll just hit the bones of Jesse's team for those not too familiar. Quarterback room's a little fleshed out. We got Trevor Lawrence, JJ McCarthy, Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, and Justin Fields. As far as running backs go, the only one of note right now is Woody Marks, though I guess Jaden Blue um, could, and Tyrone Tracy are names. Um, Brian Thomas is far and away his biggest name receiver, but there's names like Josh Downs in there, Devon Vele, of course, the Velicents, Tez Johnson, Kyle Williams, Cedric Tillman. And tight end's another strong spot for him. Obviously, I don't think he'll be holding on to Mark Andrews forever, nor Darren Waller, but who knows what his plans are. And on top of that, he still has Tucker Kraft on IR and Harold Fannin in the taxi. So I guess my question to you and those listening is, what do you think Jesse's outlook is next year? Is he in it? Are we waiting a certain distance?
Yeah, I mean the bones are there, right? If Kraft comes back and he's good, all of a sudden his QB and tight end rooms are both really, really looking strong. Wide receiver, definitely not an encouraging year from BTJ. And that really is, I mean, Woody Marks has warmed up, but BTJ is kind of his only real piece out of those groups, or out of that group. He has plus draft capital, you never know. I'd say this team is probably still more than a year, or either a more than a year wait or a couple big moves away from putting its foot in a league where you need a good team to contend. This 10 team league, the top is pretty consistently pretty heavy. So
This
few
is
years to
true.
go. Um, but that's the game.
I don't think all six teams have that are in playoff contention have it for the next 2 years. I think some are going to start to decay for sure, but not all of them. So there's definitely a bar to be reached, and I'm with you that I think he's more than a couple years out. It would take a couple of crazy draft picks. He has two firsts this year, two thirds, one of them being the 101. But yeah, it's a solid bones. I sort of accidentally have built a rebuild team in another league, just fleshing the shit out of my quarterback and tight ends room, and it makes it easy, I think, to draft sort of by position. There's always going to be a good running back or wide receiver out there, and you can also sell off your QB three or your tight end three or two that um, brings you some stuff back. So I think it's definitely not a terrible spot to be. He's throttling up, I would say, especially adding likely Julian Love or Jeremiah Love to the to the mix. But yeah, not there quite yet. Speaking of not there quite yet, next would be me.
Looking at draft order, it would be the winless control.
The
Uh,
winless control.
no
Jordan Love,
wins, but two rings to keep you warm at night.
2 rings indeed, and you're not going to stop hearing about it. Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, and then obviously the Detroit backfield, Gibbs and Monty, alongside guys like Charbonnet, who I'm thinking takes a jump next year. And then as far as receivers go, currently Sutton, Godwin, Mooney, um, but I don't intend on that being a forever thing. And then tight ends, pretty measly Kate Otten, Pat Fryermuth, Tyler Ferguson, Terrence Ferguson. I'll let you field this one, but I think the answer as to whether next year is in the cards is a little obvious.
Yeah, obviously you hit the rebuild button going into this year, and tearing it down like that. I mean, it can be done in a year, but usually does take a little more if you're going to go for a good full rebuild and really try to just rejuice everything. It takes time. Um, but like when you just look through the roster, it's kind of a team in flux. It feels like still. I mean, Love Daniels, obviously Daniels at this point in this season's looking like a long-term piece, but he was a strong win now piece. Same thing with Love. You do still have vets. You moved off of Terry, but there's still Sutton. You have both Detroit running backs. I mean, Gibbs is one of the premier win now talents
Is
in the
Gibbs
game
your RB1? I've been debating this with people.
for Dynasty. I hadn't thought about it too hard, but it's kind of hard to not say yes, I think.
I've officially tipped yes over
Tit for
Bijan.
tat, him and Bijan. Take your pick. I think they're both awesome. Um, I know you'd considered moving him this year. I know there were some things floated out. It it's hard. I mean, you look at Godwin, Sutton, Monty, Otten. I mean, even like Charbonnet, it just feels like a lot of pieces that don't necessarily fit the vision of the long term build. You are still positive in draft capital. You have pretty much equivalent to what Jesse has.
Yeah,
Um, and I think we all know what the direction is. I have no doubt you'll get there, but I definitely think things are going to look very different come a year, 2 years from now. Whenever you do start looking as a contender, I think this team may change shape a couple times.
most likely. Yeah, I feel like the skeleton's sort of there, but I want to go down before I go up, do things the right way. Then we got Patty Mills, um, quarterback room of Penix, uh, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Milrow, Tyrod Taylor. He's got Devon Achan and Jalen Warren at running back, alongside guys like Jalen Wright, I guess, has some potential, but is currently more of a handcuff. Trey Benson. Receiver room may be his best asset in Zay Flowers. I thought there were a
Drake
few.
London, Travis Hunter,
Drake London, Hunter, Ayuk, DJ Moore, Burden. And then he's got Kincaid, Loveland, Jawan Johnson as well.
and Pitts.
Draft capital wise, his own first, the 103. Jesse's second, so the 201 and the 203 of his own. Then his own and your thirds. Does he turn it around by this time next year?
I mean, he is certainly a team that could. Um, Obviously things have not gone the way. The experiment has not yielded the results that
Oh,
Pat was hoping it would.
sorry, I missed Michael Wilson as well. Flamethrower.
I mean, best receiver in football. Yeah, I mean, it's a tougher one. It's one that definitely you could see all of a sudden things do take a quick turn and the other shoe drops and all of a sudden it does start to work. Just all of the pieces almost across the board for him are guys where they're either entering their prime, right in their prime, or haven't hit their prime yet. Um, it it feels like there's a lot of room still for this team to ascend. Still positive draft capital. He does have guys with some big hitter potential with Achan, with Drake London. The tight end room, I think, has a very high ceiling.
I left Pitts out too.
Yes. So I mean, when we start to talk about when these teams that are currently on the outside looking in can kind of turn it around, I think he's the first one that you look at it and it's like, yeah, things could definitely swing right next year, and he's right in the thick of it.
Yeah, I think there's pieces here. I don't think he intends on getting lower. I know he's shopped Achan a little bit. I know Zay Flowers has been declared untouchable. That might be a breaking news story to some. But a source of mine told me that Zay Flowers is untouchable. Devon Achan at the price of between two and three firsts, for me at least, is also untouchable. So I feel like we have the infrastructure that Pat intends to build on top of versus tear down, because I don't think he's moving London. Like I was saying earlier, I like having the when you're on your way up, just kind of collecting quarterbacks or tight ends you believe in, and then you can sell off when you don't need four of them at a time. His quarterback room isn't necessarily there, but yeah, he's got the 103. Could easily get a solid quarterback. Maybe I move the 102, move back one spot or something. But yeah, I think out of the three that we've named, I think he is my favorite to be in the other side of our conversation today come next year. And then the last one, outside looking in, Rob Catch. Now Rob was looking okay for a while, but I think he decided to wait for next year. I mean, this is not a guy that would easily lose a lot of games if he were to break it down. It would take some selling. He's got Drake May, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, uh, Travion Henderson, Kenneth Walker, um, Devin Neal even starting to shine. Cam Scatabo coming back next year. Alvin Kamara, who knows? Probably not much, but could be some gas in that tank. Michael Pittman having a good year. Jacoby Myers showing signs of life. Mike Evans maybe has some left in him. Jordan Addison, Troy Franklin, T. Higgins, and then Laporta, Njoku, and that about does us for people I think worth a mention. And then as far as draft capital goes, he's looking at Tom's first this year, and that's about it. But I mean, that team has a couple different weeks, and they could have been in it this year. So I definitely think he's knocking, and we'll see what that first looks like. It might not be anything too groundbreaking, but I think there are moves to be made. He still has the 28th first, I believe, but not the 27th.
Yeah.
If that is
Um,
correct.
a team where I think he probably was just a little bit short on it this year. Things didn't quite go his way, in a handful of spots. I think it was probably the right time for him to sell Jonathan Taylor. I don't remember specifically what Tom paid. But even after moving that and starting to kind of replenish the draft chest a little bit, which he definitely needed, there really is a core that I like here. I mean, Drake May, Henderson, Rashi, that's a QB, a running back, and a wide receiver that you feel pretty strong about all three of them, I think, as your one moving forward.
Yeah.
Um, with a good smattering of other guys where like if Scatabo comes back and he's a high end RB2, low end RB1, is anyone going to be surprised? If T. Higgins pops out a top 10 wide receiver season, is anyone going to be surprised? Yeah, I think if we're going back to the question of what's next year look like, I think it's probably gonna be another year trying to contend. Maybe preseason looking at it amongst that before anybody makes any moves or anything amongst that kind of middle of the pack tier where, teams have won it from that group often in our league.
Risky, as we've said in the past.
Yes, I think this team is nothing short of frisky. He's 4-10 right now. I would definitely take the over on that by week 14 next year.
I don't think Rob has it in his soul to lose on purpose. He, much to our chagrin as a Bills fan and a hater of the Patriots, he doesn't know what losing looks like, and I don't think he has it in him to suck on purpose. So I don't think he necessarily needs to either. I think this is a team that, and he voiced the intention to right the ship pretty quickly. And I definitely think, like you said, he's in that frisky tier the second next season starts. So I wouldn't be surprised if he flips this first, moves the 28 first. He's got 3 seconds between 27 and 28. Um, and I think there's already enough talent out there to win some games. And that brings us to the meat and potatoes of the show. We're talking playoffs. Now, I think the beef of the next conversation is going to be the bubble. So I'll just start at the top here so we get to him. Luke is 12-2 right now, as is Zach. So a Zach win and a Luke loss obviously flip flops him, but Luke is over 100 points clear of Zach, making him a win in one seed. Um, like I said, Zach is 12-2, one game up on you, who's the only threat of unseating him. You would need to win while he loses, and you also would need to outscore him by 24, which is not impossible. He's got Nico this week, which is a tough one, and you've got Luke, which is a tough one, but anything can happen. And then, yeah, you are 2 games clear of everyone on the bubble, so it's not getting worse than 3 seed for the Funky Bunch. Um, yeah, so the bubble currently 9-5 with 2017 points for is Tom. And then just outside looking in is Nico, 21 points behind. Oh, sorry. 31 points behind him, 31 and a half points behind him. Also at 9-5. And then Brennan, 8-6 with more points for than the other two. So he would need losses out of both and um, a win of his own. And he would need to stay outscoring Tom by 40 and Nico by 70, which I would think happens if they're both losing. Now Tom plays me, which is a quite the pull. Brennan plays um where's Brennan?
Friends got
Bre-
robbed.
Brennan's got Rob, which frisky matchup. And then, like I said, Nico has Zach. What do you see happening here?
Um, yeah, I do think it could be anyone's game. First looks, Brennan has a really good team. Things have just not gone, Brett. He just cannot get it to swing his way. And I don't think this playoff race is shaping up to go his way or even to be a part of it. The matchups here really are tough for him. Rob for a 4-10 team is, I think we kind of agreed, the last one you would want to face of the teams that are out of it. Uh,
Yeah.
and then he's looking at Nico as feeds. That's great for him, but Tom getting you, it is the right pull. It just seems too easy to pick against Tom pulling one out over you, holding down that 4 seed, and facing either Luke or Feeds in the first round.
Yeah, the Daniels JD5 shakiness as of late kind of makes this one a real tough one to pick against as far as like you were talking about with Tom. I think if I had Daniels, Love, the Detroit backfield, Charbonnet, Singletary, who's gone over 10 in 3 of his last 4. Um, Not to mention the Sutton, Godwin, Mooney receiver room, which is nothing to shit your pants about, but it's not bad. It could put up points. Um, it, Tom also, I was looking at it earlier. His guys have some really favorable matchups by the numbers. So yeah, I don't think he loses ground in the points for game to Nico, and I don't think he loses to the all defeated control. Um, so yeah, I think that leaves us. I think everything else stays the same, and I think we see Luke, Zach, you, and Tom, which leaves us with Luke versus Tom and you versus Zach. Where do you see the playoffs going from there?
Yeah. And worth noting, if I have Luke this week in a game that doesn't mean too much for either of us, and if I do pull that one out, it may maybe setting the two of us up for a rematch. So it may end up being Feeds and Tom, and then me and Luke if it worked out that way, or Feeds and Nico, or Feeds and Brennan. Um,
It would be nice to know you can beat him.
yeah. Well, the Funky Bunch, we feel like we can beat anybody. We'll play whoever gets put in front of us. And frankly, I don't know if there's a preferable option. Wit obviously has the points for lead, pretty sizably, but I feel like Tom's team is heating up at the right time. Zach's team is full of guys who are scary to go against any week. Um, and so I hate to say it's anyone's game, but I think it's gonna be close to coin toss matchups across the board for our three playoff games this year. Who am I picking? Who am I picking? The Funky Bunch.
Yeah,
We're
shocking.
riding or dying with the Funky Bunch. No surprises there. Um, and we will be riding until the wheels fall off. Haven't missed the playoffs yet. Not starting this year. We're just trying to get our second ring to get those goat talks really going.
Yeah. Viewers out there might remember that after a year of hating, 2 years ago at this time, I declared it the year of the mirror. I stopped doubting. I saw the moves that were made. I saw the performances week in and week out. I don't think this is the year of the mirror, unfortunately for Mir, but I do have a similar call to make. I do like one team in particular a lot. Um, and it's not Tom. I've been hating on Tom a lot. Not that much, I guess, but he's brought it on himself when it has happened. But I just don't think the team's there necessarily. I think Genty's too shaky. I think Ladd's too shaky. Warren's been cooling down. He got a Marion back, which is super nice, and Burrow. But even Lamar hasn't been spectacular. So, I mean, if he wins, I'm not surprised. Wins it all, I'm not surprised. But that wouldn't be my pick at this moment in time. And then you got your one seed Luke, and it's hard to pick against a one seed. Um, but I think Hertz has been shaky. Javante and Josh Jacobs are not as unimpeachable as they were in the last year. And Igbuka has certainly cooled off, as I believe has Olave a little bit. Um, Bucky's still been battling his way back. Saquon's been down. Um, Again, another team that it wouldn't shock me at all to see bring home some hardware, but that's not my pick. And then unfortunately, my pick is also not the Funky Bunch. I do think your team is hitting a nice stride. Derrick Henry's looked great. ETN's swinging up in touches. And then Josh is doing Josh things. Then obviously your receivers are just nice, and Kittle's been decent. But I think this is the year we kick the Fedor down. That kind of sounds like I'm picking against him, but I have Zach Fedor taking the league this year. I think Herbo looks solid. I think Bryce Young, yet again, 2 years in a row, is catching fire just when you would want him to. And then James Cook has been kind of one of the steadier assets while maintaining a pretty high ceiling. And I love a high floor, but I mean obviously his ceiling is pretty huge too. RJ Harvey is clicking without Dobbins. And then Puka's looking great, Tet's looking good, Waddle's looking good, Wandale's looking good. DK Metcalf is shaky as of late. Oh, actually he's been okay. Not as consistent as one might like. I thought when I saw Dowdle fading like McQueen years ago that he Zach might be cooked because it kind of felt like for a while he was getting carried there. And we'll see if Alec Pierce can maintain with Philip Rivers at the helm. But I don't know. I think it's a real complete team. I think a lot of the guys I just read off, Bowers not even mentioned yet, super high floor guys. I think it's a tight one with the Funky Bunch, and I actually think the more volatile matchup round two. I pick stability with ceiling against higher ceiling with less stability. And that's what I view or I'm sorry, Luke and Tom as. So I'm picking Zach Fedor. I uh, I just got a feeling. I like the team. I love the manager. He's a real hands-off guy. He lets the guys be themselves. And I think that's huge this time of year. There's enough pressure on them as is.
We
So
can
I'm
only
going Zach
hope
Fedor.
we can only hope that that's what we need to finally get Zach on the pod.
If Zach wins the league and does not hop on the pod, I'm sorry if he's the reigning champ. Get him out of here. Get him gone. Because I mean, that would just be bad TV. He's going to be the focal point of the entire offseason, one would think, and he's not even going to be there to let us hear his voice or stand up for the shots that I'm sure others will be sending his way.
I don't know.
Is
Could
that
we really let go of him after a championship season? I think he would be a high demand asset on the market after he got let go. I don't know. Maybe Dynasty Detour Zach has a ring to it.
Dynasty Detour Zach does have a ring to it. If he didn't have such a long track record of not contributing to fantasy football media, I would say go for it. By the way, Dynasty Detour merch, you can pre-order now, delivers February 2028. So get yours now and be excited for it
It'll show up
when
when your calendar does.
true that. Okay, well, I don't think there's anything else to discuss. I don't know if you've got anything.
We talked about this the other day. The trade deadline came and went silently. I was very happy about that. Usually you're talking about your leagues, you love to see action. My biggest fear with the Henry move was that that would kind of start knocking over the dominoes for Brennan towards moving CMC. And I think I might have been kicking myself, but Brennan's team has stayed afloat. It's won enough games. He's in the hunt down to the last week, and Funky Bunch fans around the nation rejoiced Tuesday morning when they woke up to see no other moves made.
Yeah, that actually just made me curious and I wanted to check something. Um, how many weeks have you had Henry? Three?
Three,
Yeah,
two, three.
three, I think. It's interesting that he did lose that week and has won every week since, which you know, where are you? Okay, so he actually wouldn't have had enough over replacement to beat Rob in week 12 because we could have a very different bubble if the points for leader was in a three-way tie for fourth place. But
Definitely.
you can't knock the decision then. Nothing would have turned out different. So, yeah, best of luck to all involved. I I'm excited to watch one from the outside. It's tough having always watching from the inside. It's stressful.
Don't I know?
Everyone's always picking against me, but we always pull through when we get there.
Well, about what, 2.5, 3 weeks, we'll know.
When do I get my do you have the chain? You have the chain, right? No, Jesse does.
Jesse would.
That would make sense. All right. Well, I
Maybe.
kind of realized today that my neck's a little light and someone else is about to be crowned champ, which I believe is the timeline we've been on the last couple years. So I guess that tracks, but I'm starting to lick my chops, ready to get iced out.
Better get it now while you can. All right,
So
good stuff.
thank you.
Well, I guess probably check back in a couple weeks featuring our league champion. Hopefully, it's
I was
just the two of
thinking
us.
we I was thinking we maybe get both finalists on if one of them's not with us right now,
That
right
could be good.
before.
Could be good. Never done that. I don't think.
I don't think so
I've got
either.
a four-man pod. All right. Well, good stuff. Good luck.